We're working on the revamped underground facilities, which you saw at CitizenCon. This is also my first.
Yeah, I'm going to be doing YouTube for Star Citizen content. I still stream other stuff on twitch.tv/LeafX.
Lovely new office.
So if you're here, go watching the VOD. Go to twitch.tv/LeafX. Ooh, new logo for the ISC. Wow.
So after we've gone through that kind of concept development phase, where we're just fleshing out ideas, it's time to kind of think about what actually the underground facilities are going to be.
Yeah, Star Citizen content will be here on YouTube.
Spend in there, what are they going to be doing there? How many they're going to be, what kind of themes they're going to be, all that jazz we need to think about, and we also need to plan out how we're going to do it. So when we're in the stage of very early on in development, it's about kind of iterating quickly.
So they're changing. So they're right now we have underground bunkers, right? And everybody knows the bunkers, but they're trying to make them bigger and have more. And they're trying to have more things to do. They can do multiple types of missions. Right now, there's like 2 types of missions you can do in the bunkers, right?
The directors are involved.
But with this, they'll be able to
mold in the beast into something.
Just do tons of different things, traversal stuff, probably investigations, fighting, whatever.
What it is we need to create and how we're going to create them.
Yeah, I'm gonna reach
so
out. Oh no, I ruined the illusion.
Together so that the team can start working. So at the moment we can see all these boxes. All the ones on the top are rooms. All the ones underneath are overlays. So overlays give us that variety. When the team looks at this, they don't have to come to me to ask, does the surface structure medium need work doing to it or not? They can read it for themselves here. This is great because it gives us a big overview of what's required for the location, and it also means that we can break it down.
Look at them planning.
Kind of content packs. So our tier 0 is everything that we would need.
I started using Notion for project management recently. It's really nice.
Our tiers after
it helps
that,
that Tesla's using it too, because it helps keep me on
which might flesh out some of the UGFs or give it a new theme or that kind of thing. So some of the rooms that are in production at the moment.
The new ones look a lot more interesting. Yeah, I mean, it's just,
so this
they're bigger,
like,
right? It's a bigger space.
Thing, it's actually 2 things. So it's the surface
more
structure,
grandiose.
This guy in the middle, and this kind of surrounding hangar. You know, how do you actually get there?
I'm gonna get rid of
we've also got our physical elevator spaces. So if we go from the top, this is where you trundle down into the UGF on a lovely diagonal elevator. We've got the elevator shaft components themselves, so you might have really long elevator rides, you might have really short ones, and then the way you end up at the bottom of the elevator ride, you know, this room is currently in progress as well. This is a more refined plan to begin with.
These still look like they're a bit off. These aren't probably coming 318 then, eh?
How much time this will actually take to make. So then we come to our trusty Microsoft Excel. And in here, this is just putting estimates on how long we think things will take. So for us, that's in this next phase, which is white boxing, we want to...
Dude, he's using an ultra-wide. If you're not using ultra-wide monitors...
Gameplay in there. We want to split things.
I don't know what you're doing.
Test it with our ProcGen tool and get all that done. So we estimate this like this, and we put in all of those rooms that we called out before. We've got all the room types it can be, and
I've been keeping an eye on development, but
so using this kind of grid,
I'm just really waiting for 318 to come along.
One room that's got a retheme. There's 2 rooms which are medium and large.
I want to test the mess that's going to be.
And this calculates how much time is required, so you can look at it from room type. You can do the time that way, or you can look at how many medium rooms it will take.
How many total hours?
You can do it that way as well. This calculates it all, puts into a lovely little table, and then we can also.
It's going to take 2,500 hours for them to
how many days per artist
complete
how many
the overall
days
thing
per sprint, blah blah blah. Get all of that done, and that gives us our kind of ballpark figure to go with to begin with. I think I might have to retake this.
No, you're doing good. At what point do we ignore all? At what point do we ignore all this?
Okay, so it's all great having all of this, and it gives us a really good plan to begin with going forwards. But as you probably know, game development isn't really a concrete process. You can have all the numbers in the world, but you'll still have things that kind of crop up out of nowhere. That is what game development really is. So From this point now, we can get back into
Just
the
a fr-
editor. We can start fleshing out these rooms. We can start doing these overlays. We can start finding the variety and really
I think that's why
bringing
it was
these,
great that they
new
cut that and kept that in.
underground facilities to life.
The new underground facilities first seen at this year's CitizenCon showcase have already moved into production, with designers and artists alike building out the currently spec'd out 93 different rooms and 196
Oh, that's cool that they-
overlay variations necessary.
was only a third of that,
to
so that
place
means we
them
got-
throughout the existing Stanton and upcoming Pyro star system. But while that's still many months away,
I was hoping that
let's
wouldn't
go
take up a
ahead
lot
and
of the
turn our
time of this
attention to
ISC.
something coming in this December's Alpha 318. The imminent arrival of the next exciting parts of our new Gen 12 renderer. Now, bringing with it our collective hopes for improved
Optimization.
performance, let's go now to Sylvan in our Frankfurt studio, who's got an update for us on the current progress.
The next generation.
Hey everyone, I'm Silva. I'm engine
Hello.
programmer here at CIG, working on Gen 12 for the past years, and I'm
He looks like
incredibly
Seth. You know
excited to
Seth,
share
the
with
YouTuber.
all of
You guys
the
know. You know the YouTuber Seth, right? What's his name? Seth Everman. He looks like Seth Everman. I love it. Thank you, MS. I appreciate you importing all this command. He looks like Seth. He looks like his brother. It's just the
latest
smile, man.
progress
It's just
made on Gen 12.
how stiff his head looks
But
too.
first, let's
it's
get
the
everyone
headphones.
on the same page real quick and explain what Gen 12 is, what it's not, and what it's trying to solve. This will just scratch the surface though. For a deeper look, I highly recommend watching our last year's
eyebrows,
CitizenCon
all of it.
progress update on Gen 12 and Vulkan. So Gen 12 in a nutshell is our new renderer, and we came up with this name as a natural step forward from DirectX 11, which Star Citizen right now pretty much all of you are using when playing the game. DirectX 11 is a graphics API which our engine interacts to make use of the GPU and renders all of Star Citizen's beauty.
Yeah, because right now it's very
How
CPU
fast
heavy.
in game engine can
For
feed
getting
the
everything
graphics
over to the
API
GPU
or
and
the
offloading some of that work
with
is
rendering
huge.
commands is dependent on two factors. First, the CPU performance, and second, the implementation of the rendering engine. And the latter is what Gen 12 is all about. It is from
Fuck,
the
this game
ground
is
up
gorgeous, dude.
complete
I love it.
redesign of our old rendering architecture, which decreases CPU
Look at that
submission
draw
time
distance, it's nuts.
massively. The end goal of Gen 12, however, is to make use of a new graphics API called Vulkan.
Look at this! Look at this guy back here pretending to work. He's just scrolling through all of his code. Yeah, I'm doing work. I'm good. He probably is actually working. Oh, maybe, I don't know. I wonder if they actually have like, because it's not readable in 1080, so maybe they know that. But I'm wondering if they really want to like showcase a lot of their code. So I wonder if he's like told, hey, you can only work on this behind the behind the scenes. What's up, sweet? By the way, if you are watching this as a VOD, hit the subscribe button. And we are doing this live, though. This is live, so come join us live whenever we do this. I'll probably do reactions every Thursday for the ISCs around 5, 6 o'clock Eastern. So come on by and chat it up with us. And then throughout the rest of the week, twitch.tv/LeafX.
Which will boost performance even more and also allows us to add new cool features like AI scaling, ray tracing, efficient multi-view rendering for VR, and Linux support, and more.
He just said the magic words. Yo, he did a cheeky smile too. I wonder if he was like doing that, smiling because he's not allowed to say that, because they don't know if they can do it yet, or if now they know it's possible. Okay, that's it. I want to go hear that again. I want to hear that again. So what does this allow us to do?
However, is to make use of a new graphics API called Vulkan, which will boost performance even more and also allows us to add new cool features like AI scaling, ray tracing, efficient multi-view rendering for VR, and Linux support, and more.
I mean, Linux support is really cool too, but VR, and I can't wait to play this game in VR. Holy shit, you know. And
multi-view rendering for use of a new graphics API called Vulkan.
Yeah, Vulkan's
which will
amazing.
boost performance even more and also allows us to add new cool features like AI scaling, ray tracing.
Ray tracing would be cool too. I'm not probably going to use. Can you imagine this game? Their lighting is so good already in this game. I don't think we need ray tracing, but you're not going to do ray tracing VR, that's for sure. But dude,
efficient multi-view rendering for VR.
VR. I am so excited. Imagine that, being able to sit in the bar at like any of the locations and then just be sitting there watching other players coming in, especially with VR headsets now having facial tracking, the ability to map your face into the game, use FOIP from the headsets. Now you have someone sitting there, their arms moving around. I don't know if they'll do motion controls. They'll probably still just do KBM. Motion to make a game work with VR with motion controls is a whole other. That's a completely different approach to the games. I doubt they'll do that, but at least having the ability for someone to sit there, track their head movements in the game, and then and then seeing their face and sitting in a bar talking to people with proximity comms, like that's the dream. Go to the social. I don't care. Fuck the ships. We're going to the bar. I don't know. I like the social environment, the ability to just talk to people and to have moments, hear stories of people talking about a cargo mission that they just got robbed on because pirates took them over. You know, those are the ones. And being in VR, being in the world changes everything. It's already sick with the ultra wide screen, you know, or those people that, you know, have the triple monitor setups all the way around. But being in that experience that's what I'm looking for. And the fact he said it, oh my God, we found his O face. It's just I just realized. Yeah, that's what I want. And the fact he just said that is huge because they haven't mentioned VR for years. That's huge.
And Linux support and more. This meant, however,
we just get timed out.
every single graphics feature and ensure that it's running smoothly and as expected on this new architecture. A daunting task, which takes years in a game like Star Citizen with its hundreds of different shaders, thousands of materials, and dozens of features actively used in production. You've seen our first milestone mid last year, 2021, with patch 3.14, when we had a few post-processing effects running on Gen 12 by default. This proved that our new rendering architecture was working as intended, and we could start heavily focusing on the scene object rendering, which is the biggest and the most time-consuming task for Gen 12. Almost a year later, with 3.17, we hit our next big milestone and could turn on Gen 12 for all our static geometry, including all scattered terrain objects. That was also the time when a lot of people saw an actual
FPS
meaningful performance improvement in Star Citizen. Although, to be fair, that patch, Gen 12, was just one of many optimizations we employed there. The thing is, since then, the engine is running in a sort of mixed mode, which means most of the code is running through legacy and just calls into Gen 12, which is ported and works at the moment.
Okay,
this
but they still have to fully
actually
convert.
adds an additional overhead and is the reason why
We're a merchant man.
I didn't expect anything.
I'm big on the
performance
engine stuff.
Improvement,
I love this.
The last patch, and we didn't show anything or didn't announce anything. But I'm happy to announce,
Yes.
and very proud, that we're nearly done with porting absolutely everything to Gen 12. And not just the scene object rendering, but
318.
also our new path-centric rendering system.
Wow.
As we speak, we're fixing the last few things to get it fully ready for 3.18.
Nice.
This is not a promise, but we're working hard to make it possible. Also keep in mind that this first version of Gen 12 is just a it just works version. We haven't even started optimizing it yet at
Good
all.
old Todd Howard.
And you can expect huge improvements the following patches up until we can finally start making use of Vulkan. Enough talking. Let's hop into the engine and take a look at a couple scenes while I'm explaining a few things to set reasonable expectations.
This is awesome because, I mean, the biggest thing is like part of the reason that the game can be daunting sometimes is like I get in there and I get 20 FPS, right? You can only play that for so long before you get a headache. So have these optimizations, as cool as the Merchantman is, are huge, right? Me too. The engines on the Merchantman are going to be cool. You fuck. You turn off synced with. Oh, thank you.
Keep in mind that all of these tests are done in debug builds with one set.
I wonder if we're gonna get something else at the end here. No, it looks like it's all engine.
And can result in a totally different experience on a different machine. Also note that Gen 12 primarily boosts CPU performance. So if you have a weak GPU or playing in very high resolutions, which is really demanding for GPUs, your game is probably GPU bound and you won't see much of a benefit. Okay, so let's take a look at the scene here in Orson, which is well known to be one of the most expensive cities in game right now.
Let me just rehear what he said there.
Your game CPU performance, that all of these tests are done in debug builds with one set of hardware and can result in a totally different experience on a different machine. Also note that Gen 12 primarily boosts CPU performance. So if you have a weak GPU or playing in very high resolutions, which is really demanding for GPUs, your game is probably GPU bound and you won't see much of a benefit. Okay, so let's take a look at the scene here in Orson.
Oh yeah,
which is
just saying if you have a shit GPU, it's not going to do much
in game right now. Before we start, please do me one favor and don't look at the FPS, because this is a highly unoptimized build with highly unoptimized code and very expensive debug tracking. So any discussion about FPS here is completely meaningless. All right, so on the right side, we have this G3D API call info window, which tells us precisely how many draw calls and how many API calls we do every frame. This is the work the engine has to do to send commands to the graphics driver, which determines how fast the CPU.
Making video games is fucking magic, dude. It's
fucking
magic.
This is pure legacy mode. We have 47,000 API calls, and let's switch it to Gen 12. So this is Gen 12 mode. The API calls drop to about 33,000, which is quite significant for literally rendering the same scene. Okay, let's take a closer look behind the scenes. Well, let's take a look at this optic capture from that scene on Orson. Optic is a very helpful tool for us developers to get a very detailed understanding of what's going on in our engine. This includes what every thread is doing and when it is doing it. So let's take a look at the main and render thread, which are relevant for us in this context. Let's zoom in. And let's take a look at one of those frames here.
Can you imagine making this shit, dude?
So at the top, we've got the main thread. The main thread is what you could say the heart of the whole engine. It pretty much orchestrates everything, like when entities get updated, when
it's cool seeing it visualize when each
render,
cycle is
and so
what it's doing per cycle and when it's things are executing.
One of the main tasks is to figure out which objects are in our view system and which objects we want to render. This is what the main thread does on top of here. Once we figure that out, all that work is pushed into a queue to be processed by the render thread. At the bottom, we've got the render thread. And this is
he doesn't sound American. No, they have their main headquarters now is in the UK, in London. Or sorry, Manchester.
So
they have
what we
one
can
in
see
Texas,
here is
California,
that the
Germany,
render thread takes
and
an immense
Manchester.
amount of time to process
So
one frame.
they're across
In fact,
multiple time zones, so there's
it's
always people
so
working
long
on it.
that it even surpasses the work the main thread has to do. In this context, it means we are render thread bound. which
Oh, and
means
Montreal.
if we
Sorry, Montreal as
optimize
well.
the render
They bought
get
Turbulent,
it
which
to run
is in
faster,
Montreal.
we will see more FPS.
Montreal has some great
on the
developers.
screen, as long as we are not GPU bound. So let's take a look at a Gen 12 frame.
Say what you will about the Quebecois, they're great at making. They're great programmers.
So
great,
here we've got
great
Gen
game
12
developers.
frame. Now the opposite is the case. The render thread runs faster than the main thread, which is indicated by this red bar here at the end. This means the render thread has to wait for the main thread to finish. And hence, in render thread bound scenarios, as long as we're not bound by the GPU, we will see an FPS increase. And if we zoom out here, we can see that every frame the render thread is quite faster than the main thread. And yeah, waits up to 20 milliseconds on some frames. Whereas in Legacy, yeah, the opposite is the case, and the main thread has to wait. To summarize, with the current Gen 12 renderer, we saw a tremendous amount of API call reduction than before, and depending on the scene, 50 to 100% faster render thread performance. Let me emphasize again that all these numbers
Hey,
are
what's up,
final,
Dale?
and we haven't been optimizing Gen 12 at all yet, and you can expect more improvements in the future.
Tomb Raider
It
1.
also
I
depends
don't know.
highly on the
I think so,
hardware
though.
you're running at, so
That does ring a bell.
once it hits live and you're using it, let me know how it's working for you. So what's coming next, you may
It's just
ask?
great to hear that they know there's
Well,
so many more
once we're fully done with
optimizations that
Gen
can be
12
made.
and we can actually run Vulkan, there's still a lot of optimizations we have to do, like actually completely getting rid of the render thread, employ a fully multi-threading rendering approach, doing async compute, and so much more. This guy is the limit here. And since we're developing Vulkan in parallel at the moment,
That's going to be huge,
it is
too.
to be expected that once Gen 12 is fully working, it won't take long for you to have it in your hands too. But more about that in the future when it's actually ready. Last but not least, a big shout out to everyone involved in getting Gen 12 ready so far.
I love it, too, because you can tell he's passionate
I
about
hope
what he's
you like
doing.
this little sneak peek into the future of
And
Star
I
Citizen's
think that's
rendering engine.
huge for developers,
And
is to
feel
really
free
care
to
about what you're
drop
doing,
any
right?
questions in Spectrum, and I'll gladly do my best
Like-
to answer them.
See, like, look at that. He just said, go drop your questions in Spectrum, which is like their forum. It's like their version of Reddit. And he's like, yeah, I'll go check. Like, did the developers take time to go on these boards and talk after? Because, like, these guys carry. Like, you can tell he's super excited about finding new ways to optimize. Like, seeing that number boost, be like, ooh, look at that 1 FPS boost from this work. Like, you can see the result, the fruits of your labor. It's really good to have developers that care. And I've heard a lot of people really enjoy working at CIG, probably because they're not under crunch because there's no deadlines, but that's probably a big part of it.
Thanks.
So what did we learn this week? Well, we learned that resource planning is an essential step to ensuring your artists and designers are working efficiently to deliver locations like the new underground facilities quicker than ever before. That the new underground facilities themselves are already in production, and you can bet we'll be following along with their progress ahead of their scheduled release next year. And that the new Gen 12 renderer looks to relieve much of the current CPU bottleneck in the persistent universe, and that work will still continue after the next major milestone in the upcoming Alpha 3.18. Now, don't forget that this year's Day of the Vara Halloween festivities are going on right now. You can check out all the details on the robertspaceindustriescom website. And if you're looking at what this new set and wondering what the heck's going on, maybe you should check out this year's CitizenCon 2952 full broadcast, which is available now on both our Twitch and YouTube channels. For Inside Star Citizen, I'm Jared Huckabee, broadcasting from inside the only constant. We'll see you back here next week.
The only constant in game development is change. Yeah, so 3.18's coming up. They're aiming to get it launched by Christmas, but who knows if that'll happen. This is a big patch. Let's talk about what's going to be in those patches, because that's going to be it's going to be. Oh, I have oops. I have Rocket League running. Let's close that down. Yeah, it's gonna be. Yeah, the especially for like all of this the optimization stuff. That's going to be massive for the game. Just allowing people to feel more, like new players to feel like it's a more polished game. I feel like that's massive for a game like Star Citizen, because people are used to optimized games. Well, unless you played Cyberpunk, but it's like, you know, people are used to being able to go in and get their 30, 60 FPS, and if it dips below that a lot, it just doesn't feel like a smooth experience, right? Because it feels like you're trudging along. So having that's going to be huge. But here, look at all this stuff coming up in 3.18. This is huge. The cargo refactor. So you can get found and purchased cargo to be picked up, moved around in place. So basically, physicalized cargo that you have to pick up, move around. Someone can get on board of your ship and steal your stuff, right? It's not hard attached. You don't buy it from a store and then it's just in your ship now. It's just you have to move this stuff. I think you can buy it in Opir, but you can take it out. It's physicalized, which would be huge for pirate play. The persistent entity streaming. This is the massive one coming up, where basically you will have, again, a gun dropped somewhere, come back 3 days later, and that gun will still be there if you join on that same server. The big problem right now is being able to get back on the same server. In the future, with server meshing, that'll be a lot easier because more people per server. Also, it'll know, hey, you were here last time, or your friends are on this server, and it should automatically join you in to the proper server. But that'll be key in making persistent entity streaming useful, right? Cyberpunk. I want to like it. Here's the thing. I like the world of Cyberpunk. I like the idea that it is, but I feel like it's just not executed well. The world feels dead. If it was a single player game, I would have liked it more. Also, the Cyberpunk anime Edgerunners, people are telling me it is really good, and I'm like, this is one of the most average shows I've ever seen in my life. Like, it's just the dialogue's honestly subpar. The dialogue's like not good. I'd give that a 3 out of 10. The animation's like a 5 out of 10. Right? Like, it's so static and wonky, and I just the story isn't enticing. You know, I'm like, again, 5 out of 10. I don't get why people like. I'm only 4 episodes in, but I feel like by 4 episodes in, out of an 8 to 10 episode show, should probably already have you hooked, right? Yeah, I'm not enjoying it. Hull stripping. This is huge. Hull stripping, being able to, they have salvage now. So you have a gun that can strip the hull off. You get material, and then you can put stuff back onto it and fix any holes and stuff in your ship. So that's massive too. Vulture, who cares about ships? Oops. The salvage multi-tool for hand salvage. Oh yeah, more crash sites, more rivers, sand caves, so new cave types, which is really cool. That is the small. Okay, there we go. These will be really fun to explore too, and get some beautiful cinematics. Because look at that shit. That's gorgeous, man. Absolutely beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Arena Commander, who cares? Sandbox prison. Oh yeah, more prison activity. So when you get in prison, you'll be able to do more shit, and earning merits and just doing other stuff. Because right now it's, again, you either, most people just log off, and that's the end of it. But offering more gameplay if people want to keep playing is good. Security Post Korea is going to be a huge one right now because they're right now they're changing the lore. I guess there's going to be full-time staff there. They're going to take control of it, and no one is going to be allowed in there unless you're given permission. So it's going to be much harder for criminals to get in there and hack down their shit, which is good. Because before it was no problem being a bad guy, right? Like you just go and get rid of your crime stat. Like it was easy. So having that be challenging is fun. It's good. When are they introducing the new AI? I was hoping that'd be 318, but I guess not. Oh yeah, new missions for bounty, assassinations, clear all, and other missions take place. Yeah. In Siege of Orson. That's what it was. So on those platforms, you'll have different mission types, not just the standard Siege of Orson missions. Interdiction scenarios. I can't. Are they? Do we get? When do we get the new quantum, like the new master modes? I thought that was 318 as well. Is that going to be a bit later then? Had a pumpkin. Monka, that's great. Oh, wandering around space will be new missions that appear with probability volumes, which is good. So yeah, a lot of stuff coming, but maybe it was 319 that's going to have. No, they're not showing that. But I did see that they're committing a lot of the stuff now, so it looks like a lot of stuff's nearing roundup. So December looks like it is possible, but it's definitely going to be hard because they committed where was the roadmap? Why don't they link it here? It seems kind of odd they didn't go back and link it. Oh yeah, lots of events going on. Maybe we jump on and play some. Oh, the spirit's looking good. Here's roadmap roundup. They be working. They're grinding. I mean, they want to have all their work done for Christmas, right? So they can actually relax on the holidays. Oh yeah, okay. So Great STV is getting put in. Oh yeah, buggy racing is coming. Too though. It's weird that wasn't on the wiki. Sand Cave's committed. New Rivers is committed. Security Post committed. And then new missions, cool. So a lot of stuff's getting committed. Can I actually? That's weird that this is the top of the screen. That's bad web design in my opinion. Why can't I actually see it? Where's the link to the actual? Is it supposed to be here? Got it. I know how it works. Let's go to release view. Core tech, yeah, it's persistent entity streaming, gameplay, cargo refactor. Huh, I guess it's not. Okay, interesting. Private dating chat girls, what the heck? That's not even a sentence. It's just like a bunch of keywords. What a shitty bot. Private dating chat girls. It's just like, here, let's just put 4 words together. Okay. Is there a way to ban them in here? Does that stay there? I do think YouTube needs to fix their chat system. Chat is the one thing that's still not that good. It was a private team. They've been, yeah, true. What if we want some private chat? Well, maybe the private dating chat guys are talking to the private dating chat girls. Oh, I did delete the message. Cool. YouTube chat is still, yeah, it's not as good. It's not as fun. Cause like, what are the emotes, man? Like, what are these shitty emotes? Sorry to take away your opportunities still. Okay. Well, I'm debating right now. Do we play some Star Citizen? That's the real question. Do I still log out? I think it's bugged. Go eat and stream again. Wait, what? Why do I have to eat? Oh, on Twitch. I ate before this. Maybe you hungry. Yeah, I'm just wondering if I jump into some SC. Or maybe I go edit. Because I'm behind on editing right now. That's something else I could do. Yeah, maybe I'll end it here and then I'll figure out what I'm doing. But I did want to just get myself another weekly YouTube stream, see how it goes. I just want to keep pushing these as weekly things. Editing stream. I mean, could. Do I do it here though, or do I do it? I'll have to do that on Twitch because I need to use my ultra wide to edit, and I don't think there's ultra wide support. Well, I know there's ultra wide support on YouTube. I just don't know for live streaming though. And then I'd have to stop and start it anyways. I just feel like editing streams are boring because I can't talk to you guys as much, because if I talk to you guys, I don't get any work done. So I have to like just focus in, and then you're seeing me watch the same clip like 20 times in a row before moving on the next one. It feels like it's boring. You know what I'm saying? No, I'd do it on. I'd probably do it on Twitch if I was gonna do it. Get to suffer with it. So what are we working on post production for? Yeah, I just feel like it's boring to watch someone like just cutting is the worst part. Like afterwards is fun, like, you know, tweaking everything with all the extra special effects and stuff and text and all that. But like the actual cutting process is like, oh my god, it's a fucking dredge, dude. It is just a dredge. That's my cutting is my least favorite part of editing. I don't like doing the cutting. Someone else to do that for me. Okay, well. Oh, before I go, watch this. Dude, I just got my first like sick ass flip reset. Check this out. That was pretty sick. Like almost no boost too. Sheesh. Very happy about that. Who retweeted my tweet? That was Simon. Where the hell did the stream go? There it is. So, well, the other thing I'm thinking is, what if I just go to Twitch and play Rocket League? Could just do that. All right. Well, either way, I'm gonna end this stream here, and then I will figure out what I'm doing. I was trying casual with my sister. Our buddy hasn't touched the game 2 years, and we peaked on a massive pass play, but forgot to. Oh no, you gotta save it. Okay, well, regardless, I'm gonna end this, and then I will solve what I'm doing. Go to the Discord, and you'll find. I'll keep you guys updated there. I might not go like right over there, but we'll. Maybe I will. Who knows? But I'm gonna end this first, so that I can trim this down later. It didn't work, did it? Oh, it did. Oh my god, Nightbot's just so delayed here. All right. Adios, amigos. Thank you guys for watching here on YouTube. We're gonna. I'm just trying to get at least. I missed last week, but I'm trying to get one a week. So I'll try doing these every Thursday for Star Citizen. See if I can get some sort of traction. I'm trying to test thumbnails too to see if I can get people like waiting ahead of time. See if I can get it to push. So I can't do that unless I'm doing it. So I'm gonna keep doing that. But I don't know if it's because of top versus live chat. Top versus chat. Oh, what's that mean? All messages are visible. Oh, I just changed it. Does that change it for everybody? I thought everybody got to choose their own. Oh, it is just for me. Oh, gotcha. Okay. Well, I have it in live chat now. And clearly top chat didn't work because the bot still got through. But, all right. I'll potentially see you guys in a few here. So, thanks for joining me on YouTube again. I'm going to keep pushing this. But you know, Twitch is still where it's at. I need a goodbye screen. Thanks for watching. And keep waiting for me to stream hard.